Hello, I am D-Man, back with another Total Drama video. This time we are doing What If Lindsay Was the Villain of Total Drama Island. Now, Lindsay was actually supposed to be the antagonist for Total Drama Island, if you go look at the Camp TV stuff and whatnot. And so today's scenario is, what if he actually was the villain, with just the rest of the cast here? To be honest, I can't say this is entirely my idea. Give credit to this person right here, this post. You'll be on the screen right now for you to look at, and some of the images I'll use from this video will also be from them. Some of them will also be my own images, but most of them will be from them. You can see those images now. But let's just get right into this. Episode 1. Well, no one gets eliminated in that episode, so what's the point? Let's just get rid of that shit. Episode 2. Well, Lindsay being a villain doesn't change the fact that Ezekiel still goes home. Homeboy going home. Episode 3. Now this is where things actually would change a little bit. So, instead of Heather asking for doing the alliance of 3, Lindsay actually is the one going, I want an alliance of 3, and she does bring Heather and Beth. Now the tricky part about all this is not, because here's the thing, right? I could do the lazy round, just if Lindsay was the villain, she just does the exact same thing Heather does. That's also boring. And also, what does Heather do in this situation? Because Heather is not the villain anymore, but it's still Heather. So Heather's not exactly nice, but she's not full-on villain. And of course, if Lindsay is full-on villain, what would she do different to Heather? By the way, these 3, Lindsay goes, hey Beth, hey Heather, want to join me in an alliance? And they agree to it. Heather's a little bit more suspectable, you know, like she's a little bit more suspicious, but she still joins. It's good at, being in an alliance better than not being in an alliance. And so that happens still. Obviously the Gwen and Trent, start bonding a bit more. And ultimately Gwen does still win the challenge for the Streaming Gophers. Of course we have Lindsay doing the whole thing with Eva's MP3 player. Yeah, goodbye Eva. Episode 4, Dodgeball. Now this one I actually think will be a little bit different. These first 3 would have almost been the same, I would say, but this one actually I think is going to be a bit different. Because now we're going to talk about Tyler. Does Lindsay still like Tyler in this scenario? Does Tyler like Lindsay still in this scenario? Well, I have an idea. And I'm going to say that, I thought I got an idea, and the idea was that Tyler would still like Lindsay, but Lindsay would only pretend to like Tyler. But she would maybe not necessarily pretend, but like, she's sort of manipulating Tyler. Poor bastard, poor guy. So yeah, Lindsay actually manipulates Tyler. Lindsay sort of leaves the challenge for a bit, goes off of Tyler, kind of like what she does act in canon. However, there's no one really, people are like, where did the hell did Lindsay go? Not necessarily, maybe Heather's like, where did Lindsay go, whatever. But Lindsay's trying to manipulate Tyler into maybe an alliance for the merge or something. She's just manipulating Tyler. Of course, Noah's still a slack ass, and I will say Heather is more likes, like, that's always cool, you know? The Shauna and Heather might still have some rivalry, but I think it's going to be more of a Lindsay and the Shauna thing now. I think overall, other than that, I can't see much changing. So Noah, goodbye. Of course, it would actually now makes more sense why Lindsay at the bottom too, though, because yeah, the villain just go heads off. It also makes Courtney's line about, like, you could be spilling all your secrets to, and, well, Lindsay being the villain, yeah, you really don't want to spill your secrets there, so Courtney actually, yeah, it's not a joke anymore. Episode 5. Alrighty, talent show time. Can't say things are going to be too different. However, here's the thing. If we assume that we have the same people doing the talent show, which are Heather, Justin, and Trent, then Lindsay can't read the diary yet. So does she make Heather read the diary out? Does Heather... I think Heather would want to read the diary. I don't think Heather would like when a wants to. So I think Lindsay might make Heather read it out once Heather's selected. And Lindsay doesn't want to do it because Lindsay doesn't want to mess it up. And if Heather messes it up, well, it's an excuse to get rid of Heather. So Heather still reads the diary, but Lindsay was the one that steals it. Like, Lindsay steals the diary, but Heather's the one that reads it. And Heather's also not quite as mean about it, but still about the same effect. Screaming Gopher still lose. Do they vote off Justin now? Does Lindsay want to vote off Justin? Well, if Lindsay is using her, let's say Lindsay's using her looks more, because the idea is she's meant to be the stereotypical good-looking girl. I guess it would make sense to get rid of a good-looking boy. But let's stick these three. Well, this vote on two things vote doesn't make much sense with Ken and Isla. I mean, if these three vote Justin, they all vote Heather. But Lindsay convinces Owen with the cake, and then Izzy joins in. But then it's still 5-5, so I think what would happen is, I think Gwen would vote for Heather. Gwen's gonna be like, I'm gonna vote for Heather, and then the rest of them, I'm gonna say like Lashawna votes for Lindsay, so like those Lindsay, Heather, Beth, Owen, and Izzy all vote for Justin, and then the votes sort of are split up by accident between Heather and Lindsay, and that's why Justin goes home. Makes a bit more sense now, actually. That's kind of crazy. Episode 6. Well, I can't see what Lindsay being the villain would change too much here. Doesn't really change Katie's fate at all. The killer bass is like the same for the most part. Episode 7. Now, Phobia Factor. Lindsay would do a Phobia. I mean, Screaming Gopher's win. I think Tyler's just gone. I think there's another good reason out because they could get rid of Tyler because they're like, Tyler might be working with Lindsay later. We can't have traitors on our team. So maybe that's why they get rid of Tyler. Makes a little bit more sense. Either way, Heather's not particularly villainous in episode 7 in canon anyway, so why would Lindsay be? I mean, sure, they're not identical here, but Lindsay's meant to be the villain. She will do some similar things here. Episode 8, obviously this is Boney Island stuff. Lindsay, we would obviously get a lot of votes here. Izzy, still being the nutcase she is, still goes home. I mean, that's fair enough. Episode 9. This is the one where Cody goes home. Now, this one I think is going to be a bit different. Because now Heather is starting to get sick of Lindsay. Heather's like, this is some bullshit. So I'm not, and like when Lindsay demands Heather to get the chips, Heather doesn't go to the cabin or anything. Heather just goes, no, get out of here, I'm not doing that for you, get them yourself. Because Heather's not as gullible as Beth. Alright, so Heather's like, nah, screw this, I'm out of here. So Heather doesn't get the chips. Which means Cody doesn't get injured. So Cody's still here. However, the Screaming Gopher still lose. Now, Lindsay still gets upset and stuff, however, yeah, Beth does have that idol, or not the idol, the tiki thing. And so, yeah, that's not great for Beth. And so, yes, this is a change here. Bess eliminated early. Well, she's eliminated in the same episode because of the idol. Episode 10. Cooking challenge. Screaming Gophers lose. Lindsay tries to be a captain, but she's too stupid, so she gets locked up in the freezer. But Owen eats all the food, and since there's no one else to really blame, there's no tiki statue to blame this time. I guess Owen goes here. So, goodbye, finalist. Episode 11. I mean, nothing really changes. Episode 12, again, Courtney, Harold exhibits against Courtney. Can't really say that. Lindsay being there doesn't make a difference. Now, this does make a difference, I think. Because if Lindsay, I'm gonna say, if we make Lindsay, well, okay, if Lindsay with Duncan and Heather still with Harold, because Heather's not the villain here, I'm gonna say Heather does not do the, tries to not cut it or whatever. Or if she does try and cut it, Lindsay will tell her to do something like that. I'm actually gonna have Lindsay cut Duncan as well. No, that doesn't make sense. Lindsay's the one grabbing the stuff. I'm an idiot. No, Lindsay just does good, and then Lindsay. I don't think that's getting cut. I don't think Harold's seeing them. I don't think Harold's seeing the movies. Anyways, and so I believe because of that, I think it's a tie. Because they, obviously, yeah, I remember now. So they tie up at this point, I'm pretty sure. Because if Harold does that challenge, then I think it ties. Either that or the Killer Bass win. You know what? Let's make it interesting. Killer Bass win. Well, let's do that. So now who they vote off? Well, tricky. You know what? Now I'm gonna change it. Heather, I'm gonna say Lindsay tells Heather to cut it, or maybe Heather's hesitant to cut it, but Lindsay's like, do it or else, and then Heather's like, oh, I don't really want to. Maybe Heather doesn't protest. Maybe Heather. I'm still gonna say Harold goes home just for simplicity's sake, and Heather does it, but Heather does not like Lindsay very much. It's not much of an alliance, that's for sure. Episode 14. This is filler. Merge time. So we have Cody here now instead of Owen, so that's different. And of course our two returning competitors. Hello Easy and hello Eva. And let's just... yeah, I think you can guess what's gonna happen in episode 15. Goodbye, Eva. Episode 16. This episode just doesn't change at all. Episode 16. Now, this is another big one. This is a big one because now we have this whole thing. Now, in this episode, Heather gets Lindsay, writes a note. Lindsay puts the note in. Gwen gets the note. Goes over to meet up with Trent. Trent has a kiss. Gwen's heartbroken. Trent's gone. This time, however, Lindsay does everything. Heather doesn't want to do that. I mean, Heather doesn't like Gwen, but she doesn't... I mean, she kind of realized that Lindsay's kind of on the outside here. So Lindsay does this whole plan herself. And it works. But by herself, so it's a little harder for her to pull it off, right? She has to write the note herself, obviously bring it over to Gwen, and then sort of want to meet up with Trent. Instead of Lindsay fake crying, she'll have to be like, Trent can come with me, and then start the fake crying. Then Lindsay kisses Trent. Lindsay will have to win immunity here because, Lindsay's gonna have some plot armor here. Trent's gonna go still, but tragic. Cody don't mind though. Cody can now get Gwen. Or try to anyways. Episode 17, Hide and Be Sneaky, Lindsay. Does like Heather's just a bit, like Heather's not really much of an alliance. See, Heather's a lot more smart than Lindsay, so yeah, Heather's kind of like more honestly, sort of maybe working with Duncan a bit more, and obviously Duncan will have his Dudes Alliance, so Dudes Alliance. The Dudes Alliance will actually consist of Cody now, instead of Owen, and then obviously this will end up being the group. Yeah, that's fair enough. It's at 17, how to be sneaky. This is the one where the dudes want to vote off Bridget. Just a little hesitant. These three will vote for Lindsay, obviously. Now, Heather's not going to want to vote for Lindsay necessarily, but Lindsay, Heather, and Izzy, they want to vote for Duncan. Lindsay sort of realizes this is not great. To be fair, well, actually, here's what will pretty much what will happen is, yeah, Cody will just tell Gwen about the alliance because Cody likes Gwen, instead of Owen being like pressured. So go pressured to spill the beans about the alliance. Pretty much, these three though vote for Lindsay, these three vote for Duncan, and these four vote for Bridget. I'm sorry, Bridget. Episode 18, well, Lindsay is really good at this challenge, so Lindsay's fine. Lindsay will just win this challenge. And the thing is, here's the thing, Heather's not necessarily going to help Lindsay that much. Heather wants to win immunity for herself, but she's not going to be better than Lindsay, I don't think. Lindsay's ahead, right? So Duncan and Cody mess up, and then Heather's the second place. So Heather is eliminated here, and then Heather instead does the whole, you're a stupid bee. Episode 19. Let's go. This is a, yeah. Sorry, DJ. It's an instant elimination, and I don't think Cody's worth. Episode 20. Doesn't matter who wins the challenge, it's all going to be the same still. Lindsay and Duncan will want to work together a little bit when those two will work together a bit. Lindsay doesn't have much of a choice here, let's be real. So obviously these four are going to be an alliance, these two, but Lindsay or Duncan, and then they all just vote for these. Episode 21. They all vote out the likable guy. Sorry, Jeff. Episode 22. I'm sorry, it's still gonna be the same thing. That's tragic. I'm sorry, Sean. Well, there's a final four. It is weird seeing Cody here, but yep, Cody is in fact here. Cody never got injured, so Cody is here still. So obviously these would be the, yeah, so this is what it is. I mean, episode 23 doesn't matter, but they obviously spill all their secrets and stuff in that episode. Mr. Coconut doesn't exist, because Owen doesn't make it, and I don't know if anyone else would. Maybe Cody would? Maybe? I don't know, I don't think so. I think it's just a non-elimination. Episode 24 though, we actually have the dudes winning. Because normally Owen, right, eats the food and that makes them... Owen eats the chef's food and then that makes the boys lose. And then Duncan goes home. But the boys win here actually, so... Who does Chef like more between Gwen and Lindsay? Well, you could have Lindsay be trying to be the lead seductor or whatever, which is weird, but she's the villain, so I'm gonna say maybe Lindsay's trying to be a bit seductive, but Chef remembers Gwen winning episode 12. Not episode 12 shot, but Chef remembers Gwen winning the military challenge. Right, the boot camp challenge. And he remembers it, he's like, I will go to war with you any day. And he still likes Gwen. So, goodbye, Lindsay. Episode 25, we have a bizarre final 3. They will probably do pretty well. don't see Cody winning this. Out of these three, I mean, I can see Cody sending for Gwen that much that he might lose the game for her, maybe. But even if he doesn't do that, I just don't think Cody's gonna be better than these two at this challenge. And yeah, I can definitely imagine Cody giving away his model to Gwen and be like, "You can do this." And yeah, this is a final two right here. Gwen versus Duncan. They both win. I actually quite like this. I don't know why this is a good finale. This is an interesting season. Not too much changes, obviously, because Lindsay being the villain ultimately doesn't change a whole lot. Because a lot of the things Lindsay will do as the villain will probably be similar to what Heather does as a villain. But obviously we have Heather being there, so obviously having Heather not be a villain but still be there and be part of the alliance does change things up a bit. Because Heather's a lot more independent than Lindsay was. And then also it also actually results in Cody not getting injured, and so Cody actually makes it all the way to third. And Owen ends up going home episode 10, so that's one big change. And it is also the end of this episode, so I hope you like this video. If you want more videos like this, subscribe, and I'll see you again next time.